a little bit, that would be awesome as well.
Zoom it out. Okay. I can,
I don't know what kind of webcam you have, so I'm not sure exactly how easy that is.
Like this?
Yeah. That was the best way I've ever seen someone zoom out a mic. A webcam.
I just back my chair up a little bit. So what are we doing? Is it DK?
Yep, it is DK.
Alright.
And whenever you're ready, you can just count us down and we'll start the timer.
Cool.
Hold on. I got it just a sec.
Alright.
Hey, chat. Are you guys still hearing Echo? It's amazing. We had tech issues on the very first run, and then we went super smoothly up until the Splatoon run, and now everything's back to not working.
I'm sorry, it's all my fault. It's half my fault. Do I have stream audio up? Am I watching my own stream? Oh, you know what it is? The double audio from the game is probably my mic picking up my TV. Let me turn that down. I am not watching my own stream. Give me some headphones? Yeah, that would be nice.
Shall we test again then?
Is the double audio better now, or what? Just do the run, it'll be okay. Alright. I'm gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, so this is DK King of Swing, a spin-off game for the GBA. Now, the first thing you'll probably notice is that I'm actually playing on bongos. This game was made for GBA. I'm playing it on a GameCube Game Boy player. And it's possible to beat this game using only L, R, A, and B. And it turns out that the bongos can map perfectly to those buttons. So whether or not that's intentional, I'll leave that up to you to decide. So, here we're just going through the tutorial where Cranky teaches you a lot of stuff like how to walk, and jump, and eat bananas. Things that, DK should probably already know by now, so that goes by pretty quick. Yeah, so the main mechanics in this game are your swinging on pegs. L and R are mapped to grabbing with the left and right hand, and when you let go, you fling in whatever direction you're facing. So, for speedrunning, the main goal that you want to have for optimizing your speed is to grab and release as quick as possible. So, that's why you'll see me grab and re-grab over and over like this. One thing I really love about this game is that there's a ton of cool, interesting mechanics. Like throughout the whole game they keep introducing more stuff, and every level is unique and interesting in some way, I think. So the bananas you collect in this game are... It's pretty different from most other games. Most games, the collectible that's everywhere is like, you get 100 of them for an extra life. In this game, bananas have two uses. You can spend 10 of them at once to heal 1 heart, or you can spend 20 of them at once to do what we call a banana boost. And what that is it makes you invincible for 10 seconds, and it speeds you up, lets you jump higher, so that'll be the main use for bananas that we have in the speedrun. It allows for a lot of cool skips that would otherwise be impossible, and hopefully I'll get to show off as many of those as possible. I have the game routed out to where I know exactly where to use all my bananas, and getting hit is not part of that route, so yeah, every time I get hit, I'm going to want to spend 10 bananas to heal it back, and that will... Since healing takes 10 bananas and banana boost takes 20, for each time I get hit twice, that means that a planned banana boost I'll have to skip, basically. So this is our first boss, Kong Tazuma. He's really, really simple. Hit him, he jumps at you 6 times, hit him again, jumps at you 6 times, done. The later bosses get a little tougher, obviously. There is a fast strat for that boss, but I do not feel confident doing that on bongos. Yeah, so the big downside to running on bongos versus on controller is on bongos you do not have access to the D-pad, which isn't necessary, of course, to beat the game, but what it does is it lets you have a lot better control of your movement, and like lets you sort of direct your momentum to either direction. So on that last screen there, I used a banana boost, and as you see, I just sort of flew right through enemies, killing them immediately, breaking the barrels and going through. It saves a lot of time, so definitely want to use as many of those as you can throughout the run, and yeah, I've done a lot of routing in this game to figure out all the best places. I actually worked on the tasks for this game. I made a task of both characters, and I actually, in the process of making that, I've figured out new places to use banana boosts. So here we have probably the most infamous level in the game, Treacherous Twister. Oh crap. So as you see, when you fall off the side there, it doesn't kill you or anything, but you lose a lot of your progress, and it can be very easy to get near the top of the screen, and one mistake can bring you all the way back down to the bottom if you're not lucky, I guess. If you're... Oof, alright. But got through it relatively painlessly. So here, in this level, they introduced these rocks where you pick up and throw them. they're first used to break this wall, then they sort of put them here and show that you can also use them to attack enemies. And one thing I just love about this game is how well they handle the progression. Like, they introduced the rocks in this level here, and then the very next level is the boss. Well, you can do the levels in any order, but the order I do them. The very next level is the boss, and this boss shoots rocks at you, and you have to throw them back, so... This boss has 7 health, and he spits 6 rocks at you at a time, so in general, you're going to get a 2 cycle. But very recently, we found that if you are using a banana boost when you throw a rock, it actually doesn't break, and it can go through. So, it can go through the enemy. So, with a very, very precisely angled shot, you can get a double hit, and it's actually a 2-frame window, so it's a lot harder than I made it look there. I actually got 2 of them, which is very rare. But you only need 1 double hit to get a 1 cycle, and getting a 1 cycle saves like 30 seconds, maybe 25, but it's huge. So this level introduces another cool mechanic, these spinning pegs. If you grab with the proper hand, you spin with them, and you get flung a lot faster, and if you grab with the wrong hand, they obviously, the reverse happens, and you don't go anywhere, basically. So these ghosts can be very annoying. They, well, there goes 20 bananas. My split name for this level is, something I probably shouldn't say in a marathon, but you can see why these ghosts are very annoying. Kremlin Camp here is one of my favorite levels in the whole game. There's a lot of technical stuff in this level. Slipping between these tires when you, that's a 4-frame window on your, the angle. Then you can jump up here and skip this whole screen. Gonna wait for my banana boost to run out so I don't jump as high. Yeah, there's a lot of cool strats in this game, like that, just barely being able to make it up there to the tire. That's actually one big advantage of Diddy. Even though it is a harder run overall, Diddy, since he's floatier and can jump higher, skips like that would be a lot easier with Diddy. So here we have our first underwater level. Now there's not many of these in the game, but they do exist. Besides obviously being slower and making you sort of sluggish or whatever, how you optimize your movement underwater is actually significantly different. What you want to do, if you want to move horizontally underwater at all, you really need to be turned sideways. So underwater really favors moving straight up or straight sideways, as opposed to moving diagonally, which does not work very well at all. So now we have our underwater boss, Davy Bones. Normally what we're supposed to do is actually attack him and stun him and then grab his tail, but if you very precisely line yourself up there, you can grab him as he passes by you, and I have never seen that happen before. He usually goes to the top, which is unfortunate, but we get to see the intended way to hit this guy. We still get a 2-cycle. Oh, wow, I don't know how that's still 2-cycled, but it did. So, moving on to Ice World. This is probably my favorite world in the game. There's a lot of cool levels, a lot of cool strats in this world. Starting off right with Raging Ravine, we got these barrels here, so you can control the angle and how to shoot. So there's quite a bit of routing that went into figuring out the best way through that screen, how to weave through all the obstacles. And then the third screen coming up has some really cool skips too. Actually bounce off that wall because it's faster to have your momentum right away. So yeah, that pegboard, even though there's ice on top of it, the pegboard's always there, and DK's hand sort of slips farther to the left than his hitbox, so you can actually just grab through the ice. Now, casually, when I first played this game, this was like my favorite level in the game. I thought the way they handled ice physics on pegboards was so cool. That's one thing that I thought they wouldn't be able to do. How would you do ice physics in this game, right? But they managed to do it, and it's really cool. It's just so creative. There's so much cool stuff in this game. So this is one that I never would have thought of before making the task, but that banana boost there actually saves quite a bit of time, because you get these high jumps that you can only make using it, and you also don't have to worry about that Kremlin. You can just plow right through him. So here's our second and final underwater level of the game. This one brings back some mechanics from older levels, like the crank to open the walls that we saw back in World 1 in Puzzling Pyramid, but now it's underwater. And here they sort of combine it with pulling these levers too. And as I said, underwater, you really want to make sure that you're going straight up or straight sideways, so you'll see me turning completely sideways when I need to move that way. Play it together. Yeah, two-player, one controller of this game is fun. The first time I ever played this game, I actually did it two-player, one controller with my girlfriend, and we actually made it. We made it like halfway through World 2. Didn't think I was gonna get hit there, but it's not a big deal. We can, World 5, that's coming up soon, actually gives you a ton of bananas, so I'm not really worried about the banana route at this point in the game. I can just sort of use basically as many as I want from now until the end of the game. So the boss of this world, Sassy Squatch. This is a pretty fun boss. He's got, he just sort of chases you up and you have to drop bombs in his mouth. So I have a specific setup to grab the peg at a very specific timing so that when I toss the bomb, it's lined up right when he opens his mouth. I can still miss if my timing on the bomb is off, but I shouldn't, with this setup, I should never throw it while the mouth is closed. Yeah, 4 for 4, very good so far. Oof, yeah, that's... Climbing those can sometimes be a little scary when you're playing on bongos and you don't have access to the D-pad to adjust your momentum. Wow, perfect. Perfect Sassy Squatch fight. 5 for 5. No you didn't. Frogger's right after this. Yeah, so this level here is where the banana route really opens up, and you get too many bananas to even know what to do with. You get like over 20 bananas in this level, you get over 20 bananas in the next level. It's pretty crazy. So these cannons that shoot at you, they actually act as tires besides just that they shoot at you. Like, you can bounce off them like that. Obviously it would have been better to bounce off it sideways instead of straight up, but I'm not too worried about losing like a second or two from that at this point. So these last two levels are really a, like your final gauntlet. They try to put as many mechanics as they can. There's actually two paths in this screen, but the straight up path is a lot slower and a lot harder, and you don't get the medal, so even in 100%, there's no reason to go up that other path. Okay, so the last level here, Engine. In the last week, we found a new skip for this level. I will attempt to do it here. The old skip is actually a lot harder and a little bit slower, so we banana boost here. So in this screen, the idea is that there's all these question mark barrels. Oh crap. Okay. So I ran out of bananas and ran out of time. And I had to use a second banana boost, which is pretty bad because I really need 20 bananas for the final boss. But that's fine because there are more bananas at the end of this screen if you take a secret path. Okay, this is getting a little sketchy. I'm not going to tell them about the sentient bananas. That's not a King of Swing thing. Alright, so just for the bananas, I need to go up here. Alright, so now that the final gauntlet was over, we have the final boss. So time is coming up real soon, by the way. The final boss is split into 2 parts. The first part is a race. If you use a banana boost, you can beat him pretty easily. So K. Rool actually plays frame perfectly, although his physics make him a lot heavier, so you can't go as fast with him. Now the second is just a straight up attack battle. If you clash, you both get bounced back. You have to hit him while he's charging up for his attack. Time is when K. Rool hits the ground after I kill him. One more hit. And time is right now.
Excellent run.
Oh yeah, this game was not meant to be played on bongos. This is meant to be played on a regular, it's a GBA game.
What's your PB for this one?
On bongos, it's a, I want to say 23 something.
Well, this run was 23:00, so...
Wow, that's definitely a bongo PB.
Yeah, great run.
My actual record is a 21:40 something. Anyway, that was King of Swing. I hope everyone enjoyed.